Hey guys, Brantley here again with 30 Minute Fisherman. Well guys, really quick today I just want to talk to you about two techniques. I know I've definitely talked about one of these techniques in the past and the other one maybe not. The two techniques that I use a lot, and like I said, I know one of them I've talked about in the past but have never really went into details and showed you guys exactly how to rig it. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to rig it, and that's going to be the Neko rig. And I'm going to go over one other technique, which is the power spinner, or Poche power spinner, as Keith Poche came up with the design several years ago now, I guess. But anyway, it's two techniques that I use a lot. And the first one I'm going to do is the Neko rig. And I've actually already got one rigged up here just to show you. These are the weights that I use. This is Lunker City. These are 3/16 of an ounce. And let's see, what are they? They actually called us a wacky weight. Because some guys actually, want to fish a wacky rig with weight on one side. I've never really gotten into that, but I do like the Neko rig. And then as you can see, like I said, it's a 3/16 ounce weight, and you just take it, and again, I'd already rigged this one up. You see how hard that is to get back out. I guess it's not coming back out. Okay, well, anyways, but you take this weight. This is what you would do. Take one of these weights, and you pull it out. Okay, and you just wet it a little bit. And this is actually a Zoom Magnum trick worm right here. So I got two different baits. But just to show you again how to do this weight, you just take it and you shove it right up in the head like that. Like I said, of course, wet it a little bit so it'll go in there a little bit better. And there you go. And of course, you guys just seen me trying to pull it out of that stick bait, and it didn't work. And there you go. So, then this weight gets down on the bottom, and you just kind of shake this guy along. And typically, this is one bait I would use, the Zoom Magnum trick worm. Again, that's the big, beefy Zoom Magnum trick worm. There we go. Zoom Magnum trick worm. And, but also a lot of times I use a stick bait, just like this. This is just a generic stick bait, but of course, a Senko, Yum Dinger, NetBait makes one, a Salt Lick. Those are real good. Again, the Yum Dingers are good. I use those. The old school, Senko. Any of them will work, to be honest with you. But, once you get the lead in the worm like that, then you take an O-ring, and you see I've got this one kind of way up the worm here on the tail. And I have a little wacky rig and hook. And the one thing I would like to tell you on this hook, if you notice how this hook is laying, see the back or the shank of this hook is up against this worm like that, and see that point is coming out like that, it's coming up. This is the way I like to do it. You got to think about your line coming off here, and so you're sitting there, shaking along, moving along, so your line's kind of, and you're wiggling along. You want to make sure, when you fish this Neko rig, you throw it out, let it hit the bottom, and then, you want to move it just a little bit, and then just stop. And you just want to make sure you can keep feeling this thing come along the bottom. So you want to be fishing this thing on a, say, a 6'6" to 7 foot medium heavy spinning rod and reel, and say a 30 to 40 size spinning reel, whichever one you want to use. And you just want a pretty sensitive rod. And then I would say, fluorocarbon line. Me personally, I usually find myself using about 12 to 15 pound test, but you could go as low as 8, so anywhere from that 8 pound to 15 pound range, I would say. And a lot of times, the less weight you use, more fish you're going to catch. But I personally, again, I like to have either 12 or 15 pound tests, because I've caught some pretty good sized fish doing this, and don't want to lose a big fish like that on light line. So that's just my deal. 8-pound test is really light for me. But even 10 is not too bad, but that would just be what I would recommend, because you want that fluorocarbon line so you can feel it. Or possibly too, like a lot of people now, maybe you want to use a braid main line and then use a fluorocarbon leader, run into this. And that way you'll get a lot of sensitivity that way too. But again, guys, is definitely try this out. Get you some of these little wacky rigging hooks like this. This is a Gamakatsu hook with a little weed guard on it. But, lots of companies make these little hooks. I think VMC has some, Gamakatsu, I think Owner makes some. So you can find them. It's almost basically like a little circle hook. But, and then VMC actually has a bigger Neko rigging hook that might even be better. But again, I just wanted to show you that, guys. Like I said, you shove that weight right up in the head of the worm. And again, like I said, this is a 3/16 ounce. Typically, I find myself using a 1/16 to an 1/8, but I had these 3/16 also. Every once in a while I use them. You just may want a little more weight, or if you're fishing deeper water. I typically find myself fishing 12 feet of water or less, but if you were fishing this thing 20, 30 feet deep, you would definitely want at least this much weight, so you don't have to wait so long for it to get to the bottom. So, but there you go, guys. That's your Neko rig. Now, the next rig that I want to talk about is this guy right here. And this is the power spinner, or Poche power spinner. Now, I have this one rigged up on the Magnum Zoom finesse worm again. And this will work, And like I said, this is a bait that Keith Poche came up with. He actually fished it in the Bassmasters Classic in the Red River. I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I know it was on the Red River. And he caught a ton of fish doing it because I watched it. But anyways, I saw it on there and I was like, interesting. Now, the way he typically rigs it, like I said, it will work right here on this Zoom Magnum trick worm. You can stick it right in there and it holds up pretty good. And then I'm going to show you, I've actually got, here we go. See, this is the actual spinner. It's made by Humdinger. It's a Humdinger. And this is the Poche power spinner. It says it right there on it. This thing, it's got a barrel swivel on here. Well, there we go. So it's got a little barrel swivel on there. And it's got a little Colorado blade. I prefer the Colorado blade. They do have some that have a willow leaf blade. They have silver blade, gold blade. They have a couple different styles of blades if you can find them. And I'm sure if you're going to tackle warehouse, there's different companies too, more so than Humdinger that make this same deal. Or you can make up some of your own. And now the way Keith fished this thing, and the way I would typically do it too, again, it works on the Zoom Magnum trick worm, okay? But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to put it in something like this. Again, this is just a generic stick bait. I don't even know what name brand this is. But typically, when I do this, NetBait has a bait called a salt lick. And for whatever reason, that does seem to be the best worm to use for this technique. I just don't have any with me right now. But, again, you've got the little pigtail centering pin deal there. You take the head of this stick bait and you just screw this right up in there, just like this, guys. And it's real simple. You just screw it up in there. And I like to get it up in there as far as I can. You could possibly stop right there, but I don't like having that little extra stuff hanging out. So I take it and I go all the way up in it as far as I can, like that. I just think it's cleaner that way. So you just got pretty much just got the swivel and the blade sticking out there. You know, and there you go. And the whole deal with this is, you know, that's a pretty good sized bait. Everybody knows they'll hit a stickworm or a Senko, okay? You know, the bass. Everybody knows they'll hit this well. So what you do with this is, if you notice, that's typically the end that you would put your hook in. But now you put the spinner in this end because that's your, you know, your blunt end, or the bigger end of the worm. And then you come back here on your other end, which would usually be the tail of the bait, and you just run your hook up in here, and you just Texas rig it. And this is a 3/0 Gamakatsu wide gap hook is what I got here. It's 3/0. And again, you could go with a 4/0. You could possibly go as big as a 5. But I find myself using the 3 to 4/0 hook. And you just want to Texas rig it just like that, or Texpose it a little bit. You know, I just got it right back underneath the skin there. And there you go, guys. And the really cool thing about this bait is you can cast it a long ways. It actually, you can cast pretty good in the wind because you got this weight, you know, in the tail now with this spinner. So when you go to cast it, you know, it gets on out there. You can cast it pretty far. And basically all you do is, one thing you can do is you can cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, and then you can just start reeling in real slow, and they'll usually eat it. It's almost, kind of reminds me of a swim bait, you know, because that blade is just going to sit there and kick and turn while you're reeling it in. And then another way you can fish it is throw it out, let it hit the bottom, you reel up the slack and kind of jerk it, and then just reel up the slack and jerk it. That's the second way to fish it on this, you know, power spinner. And the third way that I find myself fishing, I'll throw it out, I'll let it hit bottom, I'll, you know, pop it up off the bottom, start reeling it, you know, at a pretty moderate speed, not real fast, not real slow, moderate speed, you know, get it going, and then I'll stop it, and I'll let it sink to where I think it's on the bottom or just about to the bottom, and I'll start it again. And then I'll get it going and I'll stop it. And I'll use a stop and go. Sometimes I don't really care if it goes all the way back to the bottom, but the really cool thing is, it blew my mind when I saw this. I actually had to put it in a swimming pool to see it. When you stop this bait, give it a little bit of slack. Or even, sometimes even if you don't give it slack, but when you stop it, it falls backwards. It doesn't fall this way because, you know, the weight's in the tail. So when you stop it, it has a tendency to fall, you know, tail first, backwards. And even when it's falling, guys, believe it or not, this blade keeps spinning. I can't explain it. I don't know how. I don't know the physics behind it. It makes no sense to me. But I know when you stop this bait and it's falling backwards, that little spinner tail keeps spinning. So imagine if there's a fish following that thing and you stop it like that and it falls right back in its face with that tail spinning. They're going to eat it. 9 times out of 10, I would say. And a lot of times, that's when the strike comes. Now, I mean, I have caught fish just throwing it out, letting it sink down, and like I said, just reeling it back in real slow. You know, so it's kind of a, if you're going to fish it that way, it's kind of what I like to call a dummy bait. It's a cast and wind bait. Just throw it out there, let it sink, reel it in. Throw it out there, let it sink, reel it in. But, you know, if you're going to do the stop and go thing, that's a little, not going to say more advanced, but, you know, a little more goes into that. But guys, give these baits a try. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. And both these baits, I think they're year-round baits. I really do. Now, I would say that the Neko rig, last winter, I had really good luck fishing a Neko rig. This power spinner, I wouldn't consider it a wintertime bait, but spring through fall, it'll work. It'll really work. I mean, it just will. As long as, you know, those fish are in that, say, you know, I would say 10 feet or less of water. A lot of times when I catch them on that poche spinner, you know, that's a good bait. That's a good bait to try. And it's weedless. It's, you know, it's a good one, guys. But anyway, you know, guys, give these things a try. Like I said, you know, rig it up on a stick bait. Again, you know, net bait is the one I prefer, and also the UV baits, the Uvinco, I think they call it. That bait seems to work pretty good because you kind of need a little bit tougher plastic, real soft plastic, you know, because the fish have a tendency to hit this tail, and you just don't want it to rip out. Again, the Nico rig, you know, Zoom Magnum trick worm, and again, even on you know, the stick bait, just like this, same thing, Nico rig, both of them. Well, guys, thanks again for watching. This is Brantley with 30 Minute Fisherman. Hit that like button down at the bottom. You know, give me the good old thumbs up. And guys, if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Got the free lure giveaway going on right now. Be giving away, I may have having 2 giveaways this month for 2 different subscribers, and then going forward 6 months, you know, from now. So sign up. There's no reason not to get free stuff, you know. And anyway, guys, and just remember, this is the way. Remember, this is the day the Lord has made, and always get out here and enjoy the beautiful outdoors the Lord has given us. And guys, God bless. Tight lines, good fishing, and I'm out.